agenda item number 1, roll call. Dr. Hauser, it's Robert, to Vicky, to Christy, here, here, and Trevor. Hearing 3 members present, we will proceed to a few housekeeping items. Members of the public will be allowed to provide oral testimony on all items of the agenda. In-person oral testimony will be allowed during item number 4 as listed in the agenda. Before testifying, each person shall state their name. Each speaker may not have anyone else read their statement, and is limited to a 3-minute presentation on each item. When your name is called, please state your name and identity. Identify the item you'd like to testify on when prompted. Persons who have not registered will be given an opportunity to speak following the oral testimonies of the registered speakers. Written testimonies, including the testifier's address, email, and phone number, will be available to the public as described in the posted agenda. As a courtesy, please turn off all cell phones. And members, I ask that before we start our agenda items, may I ask Director Thielen to come up and introduce the deputy director.
So, board members, thank you very much. I am delighted to introduce our new deputy director, Edward Hayden, who goes by the name of Ted. Ted comes to us from Parents and Children Together, and he is going to continue the good work that was started by people on working with our recreation programming staff, looking at the outcomes-based approach to programming, continuing the health and wellness leadership sense of place outcomes. But as you're going to see today, the work to further define that and take a look at what that may be. But Ted, did you want to say anything to the board members? And if you do, you can actually speak at the phone.
Afternoon, everybody. Like Laura said, I'm happy to be here with Parks, and I'm really excited to kind of get in and work more on the programming side, helping to develop our continued collaboration with the community and really make those services important. Yeah. Oh, a little of my background, sure. So born and raised here in Hawaii, graduated from MidPac, went away for school for a while, and then came back and started with Parents and Children Together. So I was with them for almost 13 years. Background there was in domestic violence intervention services, as well as then I moved into adolescent mental health, overseeing our multi-systemic therapy and functional therapy statewide. And so hoping to bring some of that program development and collaboration with the community to the parks and recreation.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
You should also introduce, I don't know that you're formally our newest member, because I think you're completing your city council. We asked Trevor, I also have a time from us. To join us today, and the police, the council confirmation of the guidelines.
Are we good to proceed with the presentations, the review of summer fun?
Yes, I think so. I'm going to pass it over to our recreation division staff who will be giving the presentation on the thank you again, board members, for coming to review and support and comment these kind of that public perception recommendations and to that presentation. We have some wonderful ideas and comments to share with you on youth programming, Our plan, senior group, have gone a little sideways on some other things, so we will be coming back to you at the next program meeting with the group, to do their presentation on funds. But pass it on back to the recreation team this time.
Hello, good afternoon. Well, thank you for having us again. We're gonna go right into it. The review of the summer fund results will happen after this presentation. So if we can just segue to the summer planning and the district basis. So we're going to review the 2025 summer planning timeline. This was asked of us to present something at this board meeting. And then we also want to go over what we are dubbing our district phase. So we'll tell you all about that. I'm gonna turn it over to Kelsey.
Hi, good afternoon. So at the last time we met, we pretty much were recapping summer 2024. Shortly right after that, staff was hitting the ground running, already planning for summer 2025. So as Mark said, in response to some of the comments and conversations we had at the last meeting, what we did was we developed a comprehensive planning timeline for the staff to follow as they prepare for summer 2025. I believe that abbreviated version is in your packets today. This tool, we're hoping will provide everyone with a clear list of tasks that they need to accomplish and also set some expectations that we're all going to be able to hold each other accountable for. The timeline does contain key check-in points for staff recruitment, hiring, and program planning. And specifically in response to some of the questions, last summer, certain things happened closer to summer than we was hoping for. This summer, we're definitely trying to take that initiative and that proactive approach. So we even moved some of our deadlines. So for instance, we've already submitted or moved up the deadline to submit our contracts for all of our summer positions, as well as we've already started all of our recruitment efforts through like high schools and elementary campuses. So those were probably, I think the contracts used to be submitted in February and those are going to be submitted by the end of this month. And so you can take a look through the rest of that timeline. We didn't provide you folks with everything that the staff have, but we did the ones that we felt were going to be important for you folks to follow along as we kind of make the race way towards summer 2025. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions about the summer planning timeline? If not. We can always do it afterwards at the end. If we can, we're going to go into what we're going to call our district phase. And this is a new initiative that our recreation division is undertaking or pioneering to try to launch. So what this initiative is all about. So in 2023, we identified that we have a need for better hiring. In 2024, last year, we tested a bunch of different strategies, including social media campaigns and the addition of a new position. And with that, our hiring improved by 9% across all districts from 2023 to 2024. However, we did notice that our registration was still at about an 88% capacity across the board. So our director Laura wanted us to think of, hey, let's try a new approach to addressing some of these capacity issues. So the focus of this initiative is to focus on the whole community, not just the park itself. By doing so, we are addressing different things such as conducting needs assessments, looking at ideas of collaboration, innovation, and basically really investing more concentrated resources on that community. Okay. So each of the districts, we chose one park or one area in each of our districts as our base states. So District 1 chose Coloma Valley District Park, District 2 chose Kalihi Valley District Park, District 3 chose Waianae District Park, District 4 chose Waimagawa District Park, and District 5 is doing Wahiawa District Park. Okay, and for District 1, we chose Palolo Valley District Park. So you have in your handouts a bio sheet of Palolo, and it gives you everything that's listed here, and you can take a look at that, just basic demographics and whatnot. So, some of the challenges and opportunities and the reasons why we chose Palolo. So, we saw that enrollments for summer fun as well as our program classes have room for growth. So we saw that as an opportunity. Excuse me. I also wanted to empower the recreation staff there and invest more in them and the ideas that they have. So just to give you a brief how we started, we did a SWOT analysis. So our strengths of Palolo is that we have a large facility to accommodate the community in various ways. One of the weaknesses about Palolo, we recognize that the stigma of Palolo from before hinders a lot of the progress for the future. Another opportunity that we have is that Palolo people are proud of being from Palolo. And some of the threats that we looked at was that the community has been operating on their own and everybody does everything separately. And a lot of the people resources has high turnover. So that's something that we have to consider. So now I would love to introduce the wonderful person to my right. This is Kathy Cho. She is our Diamond Head Complex Supervisor who's in charge of Palolo. And she's going to talk about Plan 24.
Good afternoon. What are our plans moving forward? So for Palolo, we're currently collaborating with community leaders, organizations, educational institutions, the Public Housing Project, and other government agencies, as well as setting short, mid, and long-range goals, which will encompass programming, community needs, special events, and facility usage for the park and pool. So we've begun our outreach within the community and surrounding area and established collaborations with Jared Middle, Palolo Elementary, and Kaimaki High School, as well as Palolo Valley Homes and multiple organizations and churches. Through these collaborations, we started brainstorming, outlining, and planning our goals, and are in the process of hiring part-time staff and securing volunteers. Palolo will be host to our very first Winter Value Fest. So this is something that our complex is putting on. It's going to be on December 13th, 2024. We're collaborating with various schools, community groups, and individuals to provide a free Christmas event, which will include crafts, games, music, food, and of course, Santa. As we move forward, a large-scale community event and a Palolo-specific event to be held next spring are in the planning stages. The goal is to bring everyone together and taking pride in and strengthening our community. Sports is a huge draw in Palolo, but many children don't have resources to participate in these. Through our collaborations, we'll be starting an intramural basketball league with Jared Middle School in December, and it'll continue into the spring with the volleyball league. We will also be implementing 2 new sports programs, softball and flag football. This is going to be done with assistance through the community members and former park staff. During our outreach at Palolo Elementary, we found out that we don't have an after-school program. So one of our mid-range goals is to offer an after-school program 2 to 3 days a week in providing activities for the children. As we continue to work on our long-range goals, one idea is to collaborate with artists and have the community participate on the community wall. So as we move forward, this is our Palolo with on purpose.
And I'm going to call up Aina and Kyle. They're from District 2, and they're going to talk about the Lehigh Valley District Park. Aina.
Thanks, Mark. So I'm going to be going over to the Valley District Park. So this is just some information on the area, which is in the folder. And the reason why we decided to choose the Valley District Park is due to low enrollment and use of the park overall. 2018 was probably the last time our programs were full and the park was busy with people. Some setbacks we had was that it was closed for renovations from 2019 to 2022. And the area hasn't had assistant director for more than 2 years. So we know that building the trust is very important to have the parents trust us to bring their kids to the program. So we have a new director that's from the area, which we feel will help us build the program to the things that they are gonna wanna see and can also connect with the children. Some of the other issues that we're having is increased gun and gang violence. So a lot of the parents now, like we started bringing the kids back, and then once the shootings started happening, a lot of the parents are very concerned about having the kids come to the park right after school, so they were telling them to go home right away. So we're looking at different ways that we can make the parents comfortable to send them to the park, if that means us going over to pick them up after school and bringing them to the park, and ensuring that we're providing a safe environment for the children to be. So we want to provide something productive for the community to participate in and know that we have these services. So I'm going to hand it over to Kyle, and he's going to go over things going forward.
Our overall goal for Lee Valley District Park is to increase the number of participants in our programs. So currently, we have a permanent recreation director from May 2024 to help with the consistency of running the programs at Lee Valley District Park. We are currently running fall and spring break program, which is a mini summer fun program for the children and teens. This program will help to boost our numbers because we are showcasing what we do at the park. Currently, our core organizations we are partnering with are Kai Bai Elementary, which is right next door to us. After talking with the principal at Kai Bai, we found out that they don't have a team program there. Understanding how important it is to have a recreation programs, especially sports, we started to work with them on creating one at the Lee Valley District Park. We're also planning on doing an intramural volleyball program with them. This will give the children the desire to want to continue these program activities to us. We also are able to hand up our program flyers to them. We also have a partnership with Kokua Kaliki Valley, also known as KKV, who have different sections. Sections we work with are Pacific Voices, which is a youth group that provides services to the youth. Currently, they permit out our facility to run activities like homework help and craft activities. After they complete these activities, the children will join our program like swim lessons, basketball, volleyball, and art. Going forward, we will collaborate together to provide a few programs geared towards their needs. The other section is Home Blue Pineapple, which is a 100-acre nature preserve in the back of the Lee Valley. We have visited them during our fall and spring break program. This provides the kids an outdoor environment to give back to the pineapple while teaching them teamwork. We are also working with Lee Community of Christ Church. They are planning on running a community volleyball tournament at Lee Valley for their children in the community. Going forward, we are planning on collaborating together so they can assist us with their community events by providing us with volunteers and donations. We partnered with the Lee Valley Athletic Club, also known as K-9, to assist us with our Easter egg hunt in 2024 at Kamehameha Community Park by providing us with volunteers to run the games and arts events. They also provided the donations for the games and prizes. And now from District 3, Darren and Mark.
Good afternoon, I'm Mana, I'm the Waianae Complex Recreation Supervisor. So we chose Waianae District Park. So the vision for the future of Waianae District is that all members of our community, from Kupuna to Mo'o, have their essential needs met. This is something that came from the Waianae Sustainable Communities Plan back in 2012. So I thought this was something appropriate. So we're looking at Waianae District Park being the center of our community. When I look back in the 1970s and 80s, this area was developed. Surrounding areas they used to use for at-risk youth, and they had programs
where they taught life skills like fishing and camping and whatnot. And then later on, when the gym was developed, then it brought more families, not just the individuals participating in the programs. So I felt that this would be a good avenue to bring in that center back to our area. And then Darren's gonna talk about some meetings.
Kimana. Good afternoon, Parks Board members. My name is Darren Kimura, the District Recreation Supervisor. I'll be sharing you some data from the 2022 American Community Survey 5-year estimates, which you guys have also on copy in your books. Waianae has a population of roughly 51,965 and has a poverty percentage of 18.5% compared to 9% for the Honolulu area. The median household income is $79,575 compared to $103,131 for the Honolulu county. 83.1% of the working families commute to work compared to 27.4% for the residents living in the Honolulu. The challenges and issues that we identified for the Leeward folks. Although we currently have successful community sports, basketball and volleyball leagues, and before and after school programs, we want to enhance our school age programs by creating partnerships and collaborating with organizations in the community. We would also like to address the high number of working families that commute to work, and then the percentage of families living below the poverty line, and address the increased community issues that's been happening all of the future plan for the Leeward folks, as Mana mentioned earlier. Developing Waianae District Park and becoming the center of the community, a gathering point, bringing families together to address community issues. Creating an affordable extended summer care program for the families of the Leeward folks. Also working with community groups to help organize food and meal distributions. And lastly, develop the whole family by using sports, family activities, and organizations, including a better community on the west side. Thank you. Any questions? Then we'll turn it over to District 4, Kelsey and Jen.
Good afternoon. So now let's take a travel with us over to the windward side of Oahu and learn a little bit about Waimanalo. Waimanalo is a rural community rich in culture, history, and beautiful landscapes. Included in your packet today, we do have a fact sheet with some data and statistics, just so that you can learn a little bit more about Waimanalo. Within Waimanalo, we have two Department of Parks and Recreation facilities, Waimanalo District Park and Waimanalo Beach Park, both which anchor both ends of the Waimanalo community. Why did we choose this park? We're not necessarily just going to focus on Waimanalo District Park, but rather both facilities, because both facilities do play a key point in Waimanalo community. So we wanted to focus on Waimanalo community as a whole. But specifically for Waimanalo District Park, our biggest challenges to our operations and programs has been various renovation projects at that park. Since 2016, either the gymnasium or the multi-purpose building has been closed for different renovation projects. So these closures make it challenging to have consistent services and programs offered to the community. Over on the other end of Waimanalo, at Waimanalo Beach Park, there's a pavilion there that's a community landmark that was condemned in 2017 and unfortunately demolished in 2019. Then the recreation building at that park was heavily damaged in an arson case in 2022. So without these two structures, we're unable to run summer fun at that site, and we've seen a decrease in program participation and community engagement on that end of Waimanalo. Next, I'm going to introduce Jennifer Lee. She's the conflict supervisor for Kai Waimanalo, which oversees both of those facilities. She's gonna share out the plans for how we're moving forward.
Good afternoon. Okay, so we're looking for creative ways to engage the community and increase our program's participation. So for this, we started already meeting with the school principal at Malacca Public Charter School. And beginning in January of 2025, we're gonna conduct recreational activities, mostly tailored to sports and fitness at our park. They'll be coming to us. We also have been participating in school events such as a trunk or treat at Waimanalo Elementary and Blanche Cove that were both on October 25th. And we also participated in the Waimanalo Elementary School Health and Wellness Fair last week on October 4th. Let's see, and then we participate in a community relations council meeting that's hosted by the Hawaii Job Corps right next to Waimanalo District Park. And we have an upcoming event. It's a conference and community event at Waimanalo District Park next month on December 12th. And that will be our gingerbread cookie decorating workshop. And we're networking with Hawaii Job Corps, who will be baking all of the gingerbread for us. And we're looking for ways to reconnect and reestablish ourselves in Waimanalo, the Waimanalo Beach Park Homestead community. So we're working on scheduling a meeting with the Blanche Cove principal to see how we can serve their school. And we plan to initiate a relationship with the Kupuna Housing, which is also located in the Homestead area, to see how we can serve them as well. And we will restart after school activities at Waimanalo Beach Park in January 2025, focusing more on sports and fitness activities as well, since we don't have a building spot right now. And then we're looking for ways to find a way to service the gap age groups, and that's the KP that are not participating in other organized programs, just go straight home after school. So we're planning on meeting with the Waimanalo Elementary and Intermediate principal to plan and conduct maybe intramurals at the school, and then reestablish conducting our late making workshops at schools, particularly in April in preparation for our Lady celebration, and in May for the Memorial Day. Thank you.
So we'll turn it over to Shari Ayat and Paul over at District 5. Aloha and welcome. My name is Shari Ayat. I am the career assigned District 5 Recreation Supervisor. So District 5, what we decided to pick was George Frederick Wright Waiwa District Park. That is its name. Normally we call it short for Waiwa District Park. It was named after our Honolulu district mayor. It's situated between Whitmore Village and the suburbs of Mililani Malcolm. The 10-acre park was opened in June 1938, making it one of our city's oldest and historical district park. There's also other statistics that we put out there, but they're known as the pineapple capital of the world. So like everybody else in your packet, we have more statistics if you would like to look. Next up we have is our challenges and why we picked Waiwa. So Waiwa has a couple of challenges that we have. As we said, it's a historical facility. So our gym underwent renovations from 2018 to 2022, which they really had to take their time because they wanted to see historic. So it could be a rush project to do. So having the gym out, we also have our company supervisor that been on leave. So as you can see, we had some full-time staff that had to shift and take, had to kind of like take over some of the positions. So as we have today, I Paul, he's the temporary assigned conflict from the line, but normally he's at Whitmore. We also had part-time staff that left us as well, and so it's what we've been having is difficulty to keep the facility open after hours. We lost a lot of other part-time staff as well, and they help us to supplement diverse classes. So I'm gonna send it up to Paul and tell you what our plans moving forward.
So some of our plans moving forward, the overall plan is to hire more staff, to allow us to increase park facility hours, offer diverse classes, and increase plant usage. We also plan to attend job fairs at nearby high school and community colleges. Distributing our flyers at some of the events that we have coming up or have already had. We have our complex and community events like the senior club. We just had our Halloween event, Fabulous Rally, at Wahiwa District Park. Where we also work with the schools. We have groups from the community, field users, gym users, as well as a group from the middle school, Wahiwa Middle School, and also a group from the Legoa High School. A couple groups, actually, the Key Club and the boys volleyball. We plan on networking with the Army's Schofield Barracks Family Resource Center to post parking job flyers. Then also to engage with the neighboring schools, elementary schools, Ileana, as well as the middle school levels.
Thank you.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, that is our district face case initiative that we're embarking on and taking on. And really the focus is that we are trying to increase our capacity for summer fun and boost the enrollment more. And we're hoping through these collaborations and these community involvements, we'll be able to hopefully broaden our exposure to the community and that we're here. Yeah. So I guess do you guys have any questions about anything or any recommendations actually?
Well, first of all, mahalo everyone for your presentations. I know it's challenging to talk about this. But I think it was good. Look forward for any discussions, any feedback we want to provide. I do appreciate the data that really recognize the percentage of Kakuna that we're actually in our nations. You know, that's something that I would want to look at. First off, like what percentage are there, and what percentage of them are then engaged in some sort of programming with the Parks and Rec. That's a good place, just kind of model, just kind of gauge how much you're really engaged folks. And then, you know, I appreciate the schools. I think all of that is continuing to just build this hub around the parks. I would encourage you to also find your community-based organizations. When you talk about Kalidi Valley, PAT, just a teen center. There's young people there that are looking for ways to get involved. When I think about Waianae and Makanalo and how important the paddle and ocean safety is there an opportunity to involve some of those community-based programs also with ventures?
Especially in the areas of Korean, we are looking for such probably parents someone maybe the parents just trust safety issues. Maybe get interested in the process. Encourage the parents. Basics. Encourage.
Yeah, I appreciate that along those lines. In particular, whether other older adults can be engaged, be volunteers and mentors, especially with the workforce gaps that actually those volunteers can support those gaps. one of the hats that I wear at WH is as the coordinator for the city's age friendly accountability initiative. And I'd like to see more cross-department collaboration, and I'm just wondering, with Elderly Affairs Division and the retired senior volunteer, whether there's any potential for those RSVP Kupuna to volunteer.
Thank you. I think having the Kupuna mentor the children, I think that's a great idea. I'm still a little bit trying from my mouth in terms of filling the gap in the workforce, but I know it was brought up too that maybe some parks have the sense that it's too dangerous to even bring your kids there. I'd be curious to see how maybe we could partner with community policing teams. I know a lot of different districts in the HPD have a whole team that their job is to go out and assist the community and kind of be that presence of, the smiley cops that come in, maybe play sports with kids. So especially in Community Valley, I know that was brought up, maybe partnering with the community policing team that to bring more safety into the park, and then also to bring that out of collaboration amongst different city departments. So, and I think they'd be open to it too. I know the community policing team and other communities are looking for more to do. So I think I encourage you guys to chat and see how to partner.
Comments?
Fully open their homes if there are issues and stuff. Open now, accessible and else.
For Lolo, yes, we are open for. All of them, yeah, all of them are.
All of them are.
Except one building that.
At Final Beach Park, the building facility itself is unusable, but the outside field spaces are, so the plan is to at least be able to hold programs and activities that we can still hold outdoors. But the Waimanalo District Park, they do have renovations going on, but that's just for the gymnasium, so the multi-purpose building is open and available for programs and activities.
Is there a plan to build back at each part of each part?
Yes, pavilion as well as the building, yes.
Discussion? Yeah, thank you all very, very much. It's exciting to see your vision, with some company that, for all of these things, thank you. Hey. Okay, so now, we are going to review the Summer Fund 2024 survey results. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Christine. I'm the administrator for GMRS. Apologize for my tardiness. I was like, she's Marcy is sick today. So our Summer Fund 2024 survey results. We've been working with this group called Stellar Group for the past about a year and a half now, using ARPA funds to help us measure our successes to our outcomes. So to just go over the survey. So this past summer we did 3 surveys, one for the parents, one for the junior leaders, and the other for the summer aides. And in these surveys, we really wanted to focus on our division outcomes, which is health and wellness, community, sense of community, as well as leadership. So these questions that were being asked was very focused on. So family survey. So we got good results. So overall satisfaction is 96%, which is pretty good. It's for our parent surveys. We did a survey last year through Survey Monkey, and we only received 450 responses. This year we were able to get 1,910 responses. So we kind of, I mean, it's a lot more than we had this year, and I think what we had done this year is to try to get responses, is create an incentive for them to fill out the survey. So we had them fill it out, and we did a drawing to give them the opportunity to be able to reserve a spot in summer plan before everybody else does. So I guess that encouraged them, because that's what, like 4 times the amount almost that we got responses, so that's good, so at least we can use that data for future planning purposes, so. Okay, so for this slide, so half of the responses were about when because they have already rolled in the past. However, from the beginning of our presentations, word of mouth was a huge way of getting the word out. So that becomes at 39%. So it's we're still getting the word out. I think what we're trying to do is get more social media posts out there. We're currently trying to get we have a contractor who's gonna assist us with doing like a social media push during the summer, just to get more kids, more parents aware of our programming. 95% strongly agree that children are treated fairly. This is a pretty good increase from 2022 to 2025, from 85% to 95% to 86% on that, with more responses. So I think that's a great like a good way to tell that, you know, there is better response, responses, sorry. 96% of the respondents are satisfied or very satisfied with the children's experiences being social and making friends. That's something that we try to encourage with the kids. As a records director myself, a while ago, that's something that I thought was very important, was that their social skills, because in school they may not talk to each other, but in summer fun they want to be family. They take care of each other, so I think that was very important for us to see. 96% of the respondents were satisfied with their children's experience being active. So this comes down to our outcome of health and wellness. So this is a pretty good percentage of positive responses. 95% of the respondents were satisfied or very satisfied with their children's experience, trying new things. 81% of the respondents were satisfied or very satisfied with the children's experience learning to make healthy choices. So again, going back to our health and wellness outcome that we're trying to reach. 84% of our respondents are satisfied and very satisfied with the children's experience learning about their moving cultures. A little lower than our health and wellness, but I think this is something that we can definitely work on, and through our base cases, that's something I believe that they're working on as well.
Are the local experiences used by district? Do they learn about like the certain town, or certain neighborhoods?
Yeah, so yeah, but this survey in general is for the entire. Yeah. That's a little bit I should start for next year. Yeah, but definitely I know each community tries to establish the sense of place within their community. 76% were satisfied or very satisfied with their experiences developing leadership skills. So this is definitely something that we need to, I think, work on and look into further. Then this is also one of our outcomes that we're trying to push. 96% of the respondents agreed or strongly agree that overall their children have fun in the program. So fun is always something that we like to encourage. So this is a good response. And 95% agree that they would enroll with their children again next year. So this is the pipeline we're trying to feed into to our supplement programs. The second one is the community leader survey. So the community leaders took the survey, and here's some of the results. So again, we had a pretty good overall enjoyment of, our summer fun program, 95%. They either strongly agree that they overall enjoyed the summer fun program that's being later this year.
What do you think is that?
So we take them from, 7th grade to 12th grade. So we had 269 responses from the, yeah, 1,700 activities. So maybe we have to think of an incentive. Sixty-two of the respondents heard about the junior leader program opportunity through word of mouth. So this one is opposite from the kids. So this, but we're still getting the word out there. We have, I don't think junior leaders is what we lack. I think it's for the summaries. 79% of junior leaders are previously some of the participants. More than half of them are first-time junior leaders. 2024, 94 of the junior leaders agreed or strongly agreed that they were treated fairly and respected by staff. It's a pretty good increase in that piece. In 2024, 90% of the respondents agreed or strongly agreed that they were challenged to date and problem solve for themselves. Not quite sure what the drop was last year, the reasoning, but definitely, the way that we did our survey this year was very different than we did last year for the two standard groups. So Sutter didn't assist us last year, so I think seeing the differences might be the reason with the questioning and how we focused our surveys on. Okay. 97% of the junior leaders were satisfied, very satisfied with their experience building friendships. 96% of the junior leaders were satisfied, very satisfied with their experiences of learning to work with others as a team. So this goes back to like our leadership skills that we're trying to build. 98% were satisfied or very satisfied with the experience being active. Going back to our health and wellness outcomes. 92% of the junior leaders were satisfied with the experience learning new knowledge and skills. And 2% were satisfied with their experience learning to make health choices. So it's very consistent actually with the kids as well as the juniors. And you can see the drop in the sense of community, same as the children's from the sitting there for the children's for the sense of community. 97% were satisfied with their experiences developing leadership skills. 96% were satisfied with their experiences about working professionalism. Last, but 86% of junior leaders agreed that they struggled with enrollment activity. So we're hoping to build this pipeline of junior leaders into the senior leaders. The last survey is the summer 8 survey. So again, overall enjoyment is 96% for summer 8s. We got 164 responses for the summer 8s. We hired over 300. 400-ish this year. So it's a small amount, but here are the responses. 61% of the respondents heard about summer 8s, opportunities through word of mouth. About half of the summer aides have previously been some of our participants or juniors, and more than half are first time participants. %93% of the summer aides agreed or shall agree that they felt that children had used their teamwork and social skills as a result of their participation. 91% of summer aides, other participants, junior leaders were physically active as a result of their participation. %82%, summer aides agreed that they felt that children had to be more accepting of their different points of views, cultures as a result of their participation. %84% of the summer aides agreed. That the participants learned to stack and have variety of art and facilities. And lab. Right. 93% of the students agreed that they felt the educators at their center give opportunities to develop leadership skills. %90% of the summer aides agreed or shall agree that they felt like their work was appreciated. Ninety-four percent of the summer aides agreed or shall agree that they felt like they were making a difference for children in their communities. Last slide is about half of the summer aides were planning on working for athletic ethics. So I know this year we've been trying to, like I said, doing more social media posts, getting the word out there. A bunch of our staff have been going out to job fairs to encourage people to come and work for the parks. I am currently working with DIT to get all applications online. So previously our summer aid applications were the only ones online. So anybody that's not a student that want to work something fun, they would have to do paper applications and go to the parks. So we're trying to get more staff on the staff availability for the applications. I'm looking at it. Maybe this is for the general group. First off, thank you, just wonderful job. Lots of really great information. Did a really great job summing it up. I'm really curious that across different sectors, there was a 10% increase in 2 years' time for both parents and young people feeling really treated better, treated with respect. That's awesome. That's really great. So I'm curious if you've reflected on that at all, whether it's through just the department itself has changed, that the families and children need to return that has increased. So if you can't point to anything, I'm just curious, has it been intentional? Has it
maybe not super intentional, but I think that so I think we as a team, the tone that we want to always express to all the staff is
Sorry, that's
sorry, I think it's not intentional in terms of like training of sorts is out there to say this is what we're doing. But I think that we all try to impress on our staff, especially to take pride in your work, to make this a safe space for the kids. And you know, me as a parent, am I gonna just, happy to have your or feel comfortable with leaving my child in your care? I think that's the frame of mind that we try to have for all of the staff coming in to, put the parents at ease for this.
And then on the flip side of that, across all of the different surveys, I still get that there's a sense of not yet feeling, sense of place, right, that was probably the lowest survey result across the line. So I'm wondering if you can learn anything from what you've taken through the leaps that you've taken in respecting young people. Can you make that same intentionality in creating curriculum around this place? In our culture, in our response to community. I think if you can tap into some of that, make it very, very intentional, you might see change in some of those. And then a follow-up question to that is there a particular curriculum that you are looking at that could help increase cultural connectedness, sense of belonging, and there's a lot of different spaces out there. A lot of local curriculum that's being developed that you might look at, especially as this relates to each of the districts.
Definitely. I think, as is when we're working with the Stellar group, they are also helping us develop the benchmarks for the measurement of our outcomes and how we're measuring it. And we definitely, as the recreation supervisors, we saw that as the area that we could work at the most and make it more intentional. So totally will go with that with the curriculum.
It's always in serving with the parents. Folks are showing days of see our photos and stuff on it for so can this not do this that's sure.
Fantastic, those results. Yeah, I had a similar comment about standard curriculum or set of activities across the different parts, but for students to demonstrate that they're understand. And I'm wondering too, if the parents for the family survey are able to explain, or any of the surveys, to explain the disagree or the strong disagree. They were able to explain it as a definitive piece because kind of why.
I feel like there wasn't.
No, there wasn't, pretty much, sorry. I think you guys got the long version of the survey, you guys have books, which kind of give a little bit more in depth, like the questions, but for like the others and like being the right, we didn't have really have sections of that.
Okay, and also an open-ended like recommendations.
We'd have to go back and check, sorry.
I'm just connecting the two presentations, so just confirming that the district, the effort were driven by the findings from.
More, the district faith case was kind of more towards the capacity of the number of enrollment, because our goal was the 10,000 by 2027. And so we're trying to hit that goal. And the district faith case was a way to, okay, we addressed the hiring issue, we improved on the hiring, and we're still here. So is there other ways that we can address that issue? So, but I think in a way, I mean, both are definitely
Oh, yeah, they put together,
complementary.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to learn more about the curriculum in terms of the junior leaders, and someone mentioned about how you're trying to convince them to become a summer leader. But I think there's real opportunity, especially with just the shortages that parks are seeing throughout in terms of staffing, where maybe the junior leaders, they can have a little bit of education on what types of opportunities are available once they graduate high school. I'm sure a lot of these students are wanting to explore career opportunities, but it seems like there's so many great career opportunities within the Department of Parks and Rec, and they can learn about what their if there's somebody is doing, or even maybe having the different departments come and say, hey, this is my job, this is how much I make, and this is, you know, how I provide for my family. But I think if I was in high school and I was not knowing what I wanted to do, but I was going to do these camps, would be really cool to hear about the opportunities. And then it's also kind of a workforce pipeline that fills these positions. But I don't know if you guys are doing that now, but I think that could be an opportunity where educate, people on the jobs, maybe even bring other city departments in, that have these openings, kind of. We have them there, they're in the summer, you have them there for a certain amount of time, that's all, educate them on some of those things, and also have fun too. So do you guys do that? Sure.
In terms of like a career day, I think in certain ways, there is definitely focus during the summer fun day on the children. And there is opportunities in the teen program afterwards, so like when I was running the summer fun, you know, 8 to 2 was, you know, the focus of the kids. After 2 o'clock, in their teen program, we have, you know, fun things, cooking and whatnot. And that might be an opportunity at that time to introduce other careers and even within ourselves. Yeah, I'll definitely take that as a suggestion. Yeah.
Number 3, I believe, is what we're moving on to. Okay. Members, agenda item number 3 is an opportunity for the committee to discuss further topics of discussion and or subject matter that the committee would like the department to provide information on for future meetings. We can also discuss what direction and action as a committee we would like to move forward with and how we can provide assistance and resources to the department in the areas of programs, activities, and events. Members, are there any other topics you'd like to discuss? I would like to bring this your hopes and dreams and goals for each of these district parks. I'm sure all of that comes with need for resources. And so I would be curious if you are tasked with going on this adventure and creating all of this great programming, are you supported in your efforts of what you need? Is there a basic budget versus a dream budget? And you're tasked with landing somewhere in the middle. So perhaps we can have a discussion, because it's also important for many of us in the community that the funding resources are fairly and equitably resourced throughout all of the different communities. We know, we've heard through these presentations that there are certain districts that have lower socioeconomic opportunities. Is this an opportunity for us to support parks to advocate for those additional resources to help offset a lot of those disproportionate disparities that we see? So that might be something that we would want to look at and explore in future hearings. Anything else that anyone else would like to start looking into for the future?
So, Chair, thank you very much for looking at the work. I really appreciate it. We have been fortunate to get a significant amount of that federal RF COVID funding. The funds that we used for operations expire December 2024. Funds that we have contracted can continue through December 2026 under the federal government granting those funds out. So we're going to be able to continue the contract for Stellar, which is funding us for outcomes. But the monies that we use for the operations, where we waived the enrollment fee and waived the fees to the enrichment activities in the lower income communities, 2024 was our last time we were able to use that. So we are going to be going back to 2025 to have those fees in place. So this will be the first time, I think, since then, that we're going to be starting to get into a harder look at the costs of those programs and what the base budget is in. We haven't been able to do that in this year's upcoming budget, but we would like to be working towards that. So really appreciate you putting that I don't know, to figure out ways to incorporate it out. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we will be back next meeting with the senior program. They are going to be continuing their work on the service level assessment and knowledge. To get surveys out, but we need to want the results of the response rates. So,
If no further discussions, we will move into public testimony. Agenda item number 4, public testimony. Do we have any registered testifiers? No. Do we have anyone in the audience that would like to testify? We will now move on to announcements. Members, are there any announcements? Members, as a friendly reminder to place a hold on your busy schedules. The next set of meetings for our board is as follows. The Committee on Maintenance, Improvements, and Community Partnerships is scheduled for December 16th, 2024.
So the chair of the full board of conservation, Dr. Law, asked if it would be all right for us to do a pop-up prior to the next meeting. So the big check of the ethics commission is Sunshine Law. She said that they actually have a pop-up with their commission. So we are going to be, even though it is a program committee meeting, we are hoping to do a lunch or something for the staff, because they've all been working so hard for both the recreation as well as the maintenance groups prior to December, and then meeting for at 1 o'clock. So we're hoping all of you will join us and work with the board chair on us.
Thank you. Happy to celebrate. Yes. There being no further business, the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone.